Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sofia Vidalis, and I'm from Penn State Harrisburg campus. And today I'm going to be talking about something we're going to be doing in civil engineering. You know, I've just been talking about AI has been in every type of engineering, healthcare, and throughout every place we've seen it. Mine is kind of the impact of AI and how it's impacting our students. And in the beginning, I'll be talking about more of a questionnaire that we actually gave to students to see how they were familiar about AI, and then how we've taken that and incorporating it in our classes now. So be going over a brief introduction. I'm sure everyone knows what AI is. Methodology, our findings, implementation. I'll be going over certain courses that I've implemented it and the software programs that we're using. And then some conclusions. So AI. AI is everywhere now. I mean, on our phones, talk to Alexa, Siri. Everywhere we go, we're like talking to AI. AI is with us. So AI has evolved throughout the years, and now it's gotten even more into education. And I like to actually grasp a hold of technology and bring it in the classroom, because now AI is in the industry. We want to teach our students how to actually use AI, and I'm actually have incorporated with virtual technology. And so the first part of the research is, first of all, learning how it works. It's like ChatGPT came out in November of last year. It's fairly, I would say, it is fairly new that it came out, but we're all grasping it really quickly and fast. Students have been grasping it fast, using it in for their classwork, their education. We are also using it kind of like a guide. So this is a whole presentation to see how it can be used in engineering education. Now, my background is in civil engineering and construction management and transportation. So I kind of geared in classes that I've taught and some of my colleagues have taught other engineering courses. And we gathered about a little over than 100 students. We concentrated more on juniors and seniors, because we figured that as they go along into more rigorous courses, they've probably been using AI for problem solving. So we wanted to actually see how students were using AI. Yeah.
What questions during the talk or later?
Oh, you can ask me now, since I'm the last one.
The state of Pennsylvania has provided any funding for professors to incorporate AI or to take AI coursework?
There has been, not specifically in AI, but internal grants in computing. But there has been other grants out there, not from Penn State, external grants in AI. Yeah, but nothing like internal, like specifically in AI that I've seen. Yeah. Yeah, but that's actually a good idea, because it is something that we can expand on.
Yes. On the screen share.
Oh, okay. And so we actually came up with 10 questions in order to get students' point of view, because we wanted to first kind of dip in and find out, like, hey, are students actually using it? How are they using it, if they are using it? And specifically in civil engineering, because I know a lot of other engineers, especially computing engineering, have been using it on programming, a lot of programming. They even have that as in the classroom to actually be mandatory to use AI in programming. Civil is a little different. So we looked at 107 students, again, like I mentioned, juniors and seniors, and they were distributed online, the questions. And we actually took, it wasn't just like a yes and no question on some of them. Some were actually them to write out exactly how they're using it, why they're using it, what benefits they're getting out of it, or Any drawbacks? Because we want to learn as educators, you know, how are they using it? I mean, how can we actually learn from our students and use it in the classroom as well? So that was the beginning of the study. And these are the 10 questions that we actually sent out. Pretty lengthy, but it says, have you used, first basic one, how do you use AI? You know, just want to find out if they have something like ChatGPT. There's so many. I mean, every 2 weeks a new type of AI comes out. They are getting better and better. In the beginning, just because algorithms were, you know, just for that particular AI tool, they get better as users start using it. So the more users that start using these tools, the better they get, the more information. So how frequently do you use it? What advantages do you think AI tools offer in engineering education? How has using AI tools influenced your understanding of engineering concepts and problem-solving skills? Do you believe AI impacted your ability to grasp complex engineering topics? Have you experienced personalized learning through AI tools and an explanation? What challenges have you encountered while using AI tools? And do you feel AI tools encourage active participation in critical thinking? What improvements or additional features would you like to see in AI? And how do you envision the role of AI tools evolve in engineering education in the future? So us as educators, we wanted to find out what students thought as well too, how this will actually evolve. So out of surprising, now again, this is civil engineering. We're more hands-on than actual, you know, going and trying to get some other types of programs like ChatGPT. But I was still shocked that I found out that 70% of our students, again, juniors and seniors, and these are courses that were in civil engineering, in transportation, construction management, structural. So we have all of those courses that we've given all the questionnaires to. So 70% of the students have not used AI power tools in their engineering studies. So it was about 70. That was kind of surprising. Out of those 70, they kind of dabbed into it, but they didn't really use it. They were kind of like figuring out how to use it, basically. The rest that have used it kind of more like an assistant. So from a question, that was from questions 1 and 2, the very first one. And question 3 was what advantages and drawbacks? What advantages do you think they offer engineering education? That was 3. And the benefits, and a lot of these came up. That's why I kind of like put it in summary or similar ones. Quick information, kind of like something quick and easy to find out. Help explain topics better. But I mean, topics, students did mention that if there's a topic that was introduced in the class and they still didn't understand it, they would actually go to the AI tool, ask it. And it also told them that it helped them kind of participate in class better, because knowing what to ask from a topic that we were kind of confused about, they can be able to ask questions in class. So other students have reduced time in studying, problem solving, reference for new ideas, create better, solve problems, draft papers. We've seen this a lot. Easy tool, look up, checks work, ideas for research. Some students, and you know, those are the students that hardly used it, they mentioned that it makes students lazy. It also gives false information. Some of those things can be true. Just because that, for example, I actually tested myself. I was kind of looking for references for a specific topic. And it listed 10 references there for me. I went and looked up all of them. I was like, wow, I found a lot of these for like a new type of research that I was looking for. I was looking at all these references and they didn't exist. So they were taking like references, you know, like things from here and there and putting them together. So you have to be careful how you ask it, what you ask, and also double check, because some things are not 100%. As we go along, you know, more users using it, I do foresee it becoming a lot better. And I don't know, but I'm sure there's some other chat AIs that are better than others because they, you know, have more users. So acts only as a safety net. It still needs to check work, like I mentioned before. So those are the findings that we received. And questions for: how are you using it? Do you believe how it will impact it? And have you experienced personalized learning? So once I used it, understood the topics, better classroom learning, deeper understanding and problem solving, and thriving. As you mentioned, AI still has a long way to go. And we see a lot of benefits as years go by. And 22% of the students stated that it has influenced their understanding of engineering concepts. So a lot, as I mentioned before, they use it as an assistant, trying to actually gather information to help them on topics in class. 78% feel it is not beneficial and like the traditional class approach. Now, another thing I want to mention that Penn State Harrisburg has a lot of students that are also working in the industry. So we have some kind of like mixed range, like younger and older students. So this could be from a mix of the traditional type of work, but there are some students that still do like the traditional class lecture. Out of the students that use it, only 30% experience personalized learning, and clarified and answered concepts and ideas. So it is different in civil engineering. We are more hands-on. So this is what they felt that AI, yes.
Yeah, 78%. Well, that's high.
I know.
And I was thinking, how the two classes of students, the young and the experienced, is there a
The
correlation?
majority are young. We probably have, I want to say like maybe, I don't know, 5-8% that are, you know, returning back to the industry. So we do have a mix, and a lot of students are from that area too. So they work.
The 78%, you see one of the two states overrepresented in the
Yeah.
78%.
I didn't ask. It was anonymous, so I didn't really. Yeah.
You did, okay.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That would be actually a good question for that. But another thing is that since it is civil, I took this research and I incorporated it in a different way, and I'll be talking about that later in my talk. But question, did I want to?
Do you have any sense of whether the students are using YouTube in a similar way, you know, to get, you know, I was thinking about, you know, bridges falling down, those kinds of YouTube videos where an expert might be talking about, you know, this is why this bridge fell down, blah, blah, blah.
The answer is yes. They have been using YouTube. I didn't do like
No stats on that.
a survey on it, but you know, through my understandings of talking with students, they have used YouTube in the past too. Yeah. I mean, I think that was like the first thing that they started using before, you know, ChatGPT. So it was like an easy, like how-to thing. You watch a video kind of thing. Yeah. Now it's just like you type a question and it just solves your problem, or you put in your problem in there, whatever calculation, mathematical calculation, it will solve it for you. Now it's a whole different ball game. So question 7 was, what challenges have you encountered? says not advanced to solve complex problems in math and physics. Now, note there are so many, things like ChatGPT for different things, for pictures, for math, for health, for engineering. There's so many things out there that even us, to learn and understand all of them, and it takes time. So note also that this survey was taken last year, so it was like towards like the beginning of the ChatGPT. Data is old sometimes, like I mentioned, that is getting better. Not always accurate. Forming the correct question to provide the answer, and that is actually true. It depends how you ask it, it will actually give you the answer in a different way. AI uses different methods of solving problems than a professor does. Therefore, one must specify which method the AI should use to solve the problem. That was another thing that the students, found. Forming the right question to ask in order to receive the answer you want. And to graph certain types of graphs and not giving an image to help understand that issue. And that's, like I said, there's different types of programs out there, but not all do have the capability of giving an image. The eighth question, do you feel AI tools encourage active participation in critical thinking? 25% felt that AI tools encourage active participation in critical thinking. And those are the ones that did mention about having or using AI as an assistant and trying to understand the material better. Helps you think outside the box and understand topics better. So those are the ones that I kept on seeing kind of similar answers to for question 8. Question 9 on the survey, what improvements or additional feature would you like to see in AI and engineering education? And there was a good number of people said classroom use, ways to access information such as AI videos, help with diagrams, solve complex problems. We've been seeing that a lot. Help in lab research, visual answers, estimating practices, need to do more accuracy in, this one's a little broad, but need to be more accurate overall. Use them for exams and reports, design opportunities like AutoCAD and Revit, and more input options. I took these and I started thinking that a lot of the things that we're using in class, like I also teach building information modeling course, and we use Revit for 3D modeling. So I was thinking of having AI and more of an AI experience in a virtual technology realm. So I took some of these findings and kind of like, went to see what type of programs that we can actually use in the classroom. Yes.
On your second bullet point, what is an AI video? I've never heard of that.
I'm not sure if it's just those videos that there's different kinds. There's videos that you can put a picture in and it animates it for you. Yeah, there's maybe figures, that which is kind of like whatever kind of
tool would be there for that. What are some of the other than ChatGPT?
I haven't seen
what are the other tools that come out for this?
There's a brand new one. I think it's called Soria. It's a name like that. It's
Okay.
almost like your name. Soria. And anyway, there's a set of clips, video clips. The one that I remember is 2 puppies playing in the snow. You just give the prompt to Soria, if that's the name. And then it creates these 2 puppies playing in the snow. It's amazing.
Yeah, so it
Just
is.
came out about a month ago.
Okay, yeah, there's so many come out. I'm not familiar with that part, but yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, yes.
You had mentioned in one of the previous slides about problems of installing math.
Yes, yes.
Well, have you heard of Q-Star? It's a program developed by OpenAI. It's supposed to be able to solve any math problem with that Q-Star.
I have to take a look at that. Now I have it. Yeah.
I played around with it and it came up with a really difficult math problem that even a math teacher that graduated from here couldn't even solve. I mean, it was unbelievable. I couldn't even understand it. It involved integral calculus
Oh, wow.
and some other things that look way beyond what I ever saw. And I studied partial differential equations. This is way beyond that.
You can always check your work too, huh? You can use it for that. I'm gonna have to check that out. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
another question, I took a civil exam home, take home exam. And we had to analyze bridge
Yes,
design
SOR.
with trusses. Okay,
Thank you.
could AI have they developed a bridge truss program that could analyze any bridge design and calculate the stress in each part of the bridge?
I'm sure I don't know any of it right now, but I mean, you know, that's not impossible, you know.
Right,
Sure
I
that's
was
gonna-
That in civil engineering, it should be able to do things like it. You should be able to design tunnels, bridges, anything.
I'm sure by taking different programs, incorporating it all in one, it's kind of like I was building information modeling, and that's where I use different programs, kind of put together. You have a model and information on the model. So it sounds like similar but more advanced for that matter, that if you ask it, it will just automatically. And that's what some of the students were also wanting to see in the near future, having models created through AI. Just like what you're saying, yeah.
We found the text to video, it's called Sora, SORA.
SORA.
Text to video.
Okay.
This is it. You know, enter two puppies playing. in the
Oh,
snow.
okay, SORAIA, okay.
Oh, that's.
So it's text to video. Oh, that's great.
The one that I used was SORA.
Oh, SORA, okay, well, was so similar. That's, they're so, I'm constantly learning things here. There's so many things out there. It's amazing.
They're changing so fast.
I know. We're trying to keep up. That's all we're trying to do. The last question on the survey was, how do you envision the role of AI tools evolving in engineering, education, and in the future? So a lot of these things, similar things come up, you know, kind of repetitively, assisting of ideas, 3D modeling, and that's where I'm going to be kind of going over more. Software use, speeding up report writing, extra learning experience, optimizing project timelines, cutting waste, more overall application.
What does that mean overall applications?
Oh, more overall applications, just like we're right now talking about more applications to it. They want to see more things, you know, more software and AI, you know, that can be able to use it. Yeah. Yeah. Now, no, this was like last year, the end of last year that we got the survey. So a lot have come up since then, like you guys were just mentioned a couple months ago or so. Yeah. So I took all of the feedback from the students, and I'm actually now doing the implementing the AI, which is more of the student experience, you know, more personalized experience per se, into virtual technology. Now, a lot of them did talk about 3D modeling, and I wanted to incorporate AI in my classrooms, and I was thinking how to do that. ChatGPT doesn't, I mean, that could be more of an assistant for students, but for classroom, I just wanted to make it a little bit more interactive. So these are the types of tools that I've used for implementation, for generating realistic environments. Since I teach building information modeling, there's algorithms that actually analyze vast amounts of data in the real world environment. So in other words, you could be kind of in a virtual environment, change the lighting, material, you can actually experience that. And I do a lot of these things through walkthroughs, and I'll show you some other examples as well. Automating contact creation. Now, this one is some of tasks involving creating 3D walkthroughs and trying to make it more realistic for a walkthrough. In other words, being at the eye height, whatever height you want to personalize it, being able to walk around furniture, look at areas, go to different buildings, rooms. Another one is enhancing user interaction. This one is now AI can be used for personalizing the virtual reality experience for each user. And they would actually personalize their walkthroughs. Just like I said, change the height. They can personalize it in a different ways. One example is if you have a 3D model, it's usually a federated model. What that means is you have the model that incorporates the structural, the architectural, the mechanical, electrical, plumbing all in one. All the parties have their model all in one. And you can actually walk through it and you can actually see clash detections if there's anything like HVAC touching the steel beam. You can actually visually see that. Another thing is you can click on a type of flavor, as it's called in Revit, and eliminate those layers. So if you just want to see the structural, you can eliminate all the rest of the layers and just focus on structural. Just do a walkthrough. If you want to do a walkthrough and experience the whole building itself, then you can eliminate all the MEP, the structural, and just go into the architectural. So that's more of the enhancing user interaction. The improved object recognition. When we're looking improved object recognition, we are looking more on creating interactive elements. Now, this is one that I am gearing towards of doing. I haven't done it yet, but when we are have created 3D models and we have furniture and all that, you can virtually actually touch and pick up something. So you can actually, like a lab, and see how things work. So that's another thing that I have it. That's like more of a future thing that I want to incorporate in the classroom, but that's the improved object recognition. And training and education. Now, all of these are considered as training and in education, but you can simulate a lot of things. For example, I have one kind of a training in my construction management 2 course when we talk about safety and OSHA. We do have a separated course on OSHA. The students can be certified, but I just have a small little section in my class that I use virtual reality, and they put on the goggles and they're actually in a field and they have to actually point out what is hazardous on the site. So it kind of gives them kind of like a on the site inspection feel virtually, even though they're not on the site, but it helps them actually look around, look at the laborers that are working, the equipment that's out there, how they're working, and, you know, brainstorm, you know, what is safety, what is not safe, you know, what is considered hazardous. So the applications that we are currently using is Revit. That's where we're creating our 3D models. Now, every spring semester, we have our capstone project. Well, students are given a project, they have to do an add-on to it. So their students is a group of structural, construction management, and transportation. And they kind of work together to just build one specific model and all of the environment around it. Sentio VR is another application that we're using in order to grasp those 3D models and put it on the goggles so they can actually experience their own projects. On the safety side, for OSHA, I use ITAC Construction Hazard ID. And that one, those are the 3 that I'll be going over. Yes.
How many students are typically the capstone project?
Well, right now we have about, and there's a lot of students there that is,
Basis.
for,
How big are the teams?
yeah, they're about 5 to 6 students. That's what I was trying to think of, 5 to 6 students per group. Right now we have about, well, we're separated into 2 programs actually. The civil engineering has one, and we have a structural design and construction engineering and technology program too. So they also have their groups as well. So we have we have a little larger group because we kind of mix in with construction management, transportation, and structural. So they have at least 1 to 2 people.
The size actually, they have to think about how to divide the work. I mean, I teach computer science, my kids usually have to contribute.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Well,
that's impressive.
yeah. No, they do. Actually, they need to have a good team. You're right. They need to have a good team and be organized. And they do have a lot of work to do, so they're all busy and helping each other too. Doesn't matter if structural is helping with construction management, transportation, because they're incorporating their ideas for that project all together. So they have to work together. Yeah. Some other programs that I've dabbled in that I maybe want to use in the near future is Resolve, BIM, HoloView, and ArcGIS. Those are kind of similar with Sentio VR, which has to do with 3D modeling. And but they're a little bit different in that way. Resolve has a lot of inspection in it that you can actually go in there and actually look at inspections. But that also is in Sentio. There's a lot of things that are similar. BIM HoloView is kind of in between Resolve and Sentio. The 3D walkthrough. It's not only having walk through, but there's inspection, there's changes to be made while you're walking through. You can make marks. I'll show you some of these things. And ArcGIS is more of an environmental, not environmental as it say, but more of the environment of the building where it's at. You're looking at as a whole from a top view, all of the building and the surroundings. And you can move things, you can do landscaping, you can change your buildings and which side you want it. So ArcGIS in that matter is a little different than the other ones.
Maybe used for residential home.
Yes, yes. They all can be used for residential and commercial. Yes. The only drawback and that I've found is because our project consists of, I want to say it was over 35 million polygons. What polygons are 2D lines that make up 3D models. And Sentio, in order to be sent in one way, there's 2 ways. You can do it through air or just drop it in the box. You drop it in, it's actually they give you 2 million polygons. So you can imagine how much I had to kind of compress in order, and I still was a lot, and it still let me put it in. But I will show you some examples of how we're using it in the classroom. This is one example here, how I'm using Revit and Sentio together. There's, you guys can't really see it on the top here, but there's a tab. Every time there is an add-on there, it would be on here because I would have add-ons for Lumion. That's another program. So that would be added on there. So Sentio, when it's actually moved into the VR world, it's successful. It gives you little stars shooting out, making, and trust me, this takes time. So having something come up like this, you do feel like there's a success after I don't know, sometimes I could be here for 10 minutes, but
Once you're successfully logged in.
yeah, this one here, when I was logged in, and you can view the model too. It does this when the model is ready. This is the actual project that students are using right now. It's the new engineering West Wing 1. There's a West Wing 2. They kind of started with West Wing 2 first before West Wing 1 at Penn State main campus. So they've taken this building here, and a lot of the groups have different ideas. One group is doing a green roof on top of that. Another group is doing a skywalk from one building to the other. Another group is putting another floor in there for industry use. So they have all these ideas. How is that different? Well, the structural group has to make sure that structural frame is going to withstand whatever new addition they have on there. So they test the loading, the original on the building there, and see, does it withstand that? Do we need to change types of beams, columns, or, you know, the structural framing of it to add that? Construction management is doing the estimating, the leadership in energy and environmental design. They're also doing the value engineering, what value added is going to be on this project. They're doing the modeling. You can tell that I'm taking control of the CM, construction management, so I have a lot for them to do. And also the scheduling part of the construction portion that as they take place. And transportation is doing all the around transportation. They're double checking the volumes, and it's going to be increasing how many more parking lots they're going to be needing, and pedestrian safety, and warranties, and all these things in transportation. So that's how they're incorporating it all together. And I do want to bring this over here. And you're going to have to give me a couple minutes because it looked like I got logged out. Now, it was working when I actually first set this up here.
Oh.
Is it showing now? Okay, great. All right, now I could just walk through here and just go through this. So, the first thing is I want to go to Sentio. And you're going to notice, do you see Sentio VR on there? Okay, perfect. So you see all this landscape here. Oops. So I'm entering now into the virtual reality of our buildings here. And this you can see, this is the building that I try to upload, and I have different ones here. This one's the one I'm gonna actually show. I took off all of the walls around it, and it's not the full West Wing engineering building because this portion here is taken out. I kind of boxed it out as much as I can, but I'm just gonna show you how we're actually looking at this. So in the beginning, you're here, you can see all around here, it's sunny where I'm at, and it's loading. It usually takes some time, but I took out a lot of information, so it's kind of loading fast. And our building is right here. Now you're fetching your notes data and screenshot data. Can you see actually my handset? It has the information on there. So this is where you can teleport, move, go to the screen. There's a menu, and I can actually go around here kind of looking at the section cut view of the building. Not a lot in there. Like I said, I took a lot of things out. What the students are going to have to do is do the same thing and just focus on their part of the project. So I am going to teleport in here. If I can get that to. Well, I'm just gonna have to go to first scene on here, so I can just go down here instead. I was trying to teleport from the table there. There we go. So let me teleport on the ground here because notice I've taken all the walls, so it's kind of little, not kind of little, but very things up in the air for that sake. But this is part of some laboratory, so I can actually walk or fly through as walking through here, or still teleport and just get to where I want to go faster. I can also try to go downstairs. Let me see if I can just move. It's in between the ceiling and the floor, so I'm kind of. I'll just fly through here, make it a lot easier because I couldn't grab the ground. All right, so right here, again, here I took out a lot of machinery just because there was a lab, and here is different types of cabinets and shelves, a screen here, and they have some refrigerators to keep things here, more monitors.
To enter the cabinets, let's say by manufacturer and model number? Or?
You can.
You can.
You can. Yes, you can. There is Revit City. There's Autodesk Seek. There's a lot of other ones there that you can actually, different vendors, you can actually go in and put a specific model. Yes. Now, the thing that I was talking before, I can't grab it here. Notice I can't grab it. This is something that I want to actually incorporate in the classrooms. So another thing here, I can have the menu come up. You guys can see that. And I can go in here and measure. So measure throughout here, 17.23 feet. I'm trying to get the through here. It's not allowing me right now, but you can go ahead and measure. Remove these right now. That's one thing here. You can also draw. This is great with the groups because they can say like, hey, we don't need this here. Get rid of it. I can just add a note on there, a new note on there, and
When it's back to the building, the full building again, can you hit it with a lightning strike?
no,
No.
no lightning strike here. But you can type in whatever command you want. Another thing is, I did mention about the light. You can see how it looks like when it's dark or noon and morning. Instead of doing the navigation on fly mode, I can do walk mode and go ahead and just walk instead of fly. It won't allow me to go up and down. It'll just allow me to go, straight, left, right, back. And there's just so many other things here. I can just change my eye height too. If I'm shorter, if I'm a lot taller, how it's going to look, depending on there. So those are the different things that we actually, let me go back here. And save changes.
Do you have any spatial problems with wearing that for an extended period? Do you get sick?
The only time that I seriously didn't, my head was hurting was when I uploaded 14 million polygons, and I felt like when I was doing a walkthrough, I felt like it was an earthquake in there. It was just constantly shaking. That I couldn't stand, but other than that, I got used to it, yeah. So this is one thing that we've been doing in the class, and I want to let me go. I don't want to. Let's see here. All right, so I'm just going to quit from here. And one more last thing that I want to go over that we have done in class is the hazard one for OSHA. This is for safety and is teaching students the safety of construction. So I'm just going to go through a demo right here. I'm going to begin just really quick how it's incorporated, but you feel like you are, you know, at a site here. And the only way to do is walk through, and we're going through the tutorial, and we see an oil spill. Now, the first part here, it's kind of obvious what is considered unsafe. So we kind of click on this here, and hey, great job. So it kind of like incorporates, you know, a little great job type of thing, you know, excitement for students until they get to the real one. Here's another one, like the person's not wearing a hard hat. We go here, going through, but we see that, hey, there is not this step here is broken. So we continue here on. Now, this one here is a little bit more difficult. But this is not safe. I think on here, some of it's kind of like difficult to see, but his match here is not connected. It's supposed to be not be connected here. So this is another one. See personal risk of dropped items. So we continue on. Okay, we have 3. That was just like the menu. And here is a manhole open, not secured around. So that's another hazard. So, oops, I'm doing that. So we continue now to the first one, since that was the tutorial, and you're on a floor here. Now you're able to either walk around if you created your space around. I didn't, I had it stationary. So there are different elements here that you can see. For example, I'll just go through a couple of them. Note this one here is not safe here at all. The person can actually slip and the ladder could fall. So this is one hazardous item here. This person's wearing a hat, hard hat, and so is the other one. I didn't see any other thing here. So going upstairs now. Oh, I could have like tripped and fell on this one. Here's another hazard. So I can click on that one. See, this one here doesn't tell you if you're right or wrong. There should have been more cones around here. So I'm gonna just get a little closer. Put it here because all this area here is open. Anyone can easily fall. And can anyone tell me if this one here is safe? No. So I'm gonna actually click here. Now, I think I must have left one out, but I just want to show you that when students come at this first level here and they try to leave, let me just go back here. It says, end your current assessment. Yes. Oh, I did get all 4 out of 4. It will tell you your summary, and if you got 100% or 75%. The first time my students did this, they got 75%. Only one got 100. So I can continue here. It takes you now back here, and it gives you your score results passed. So it's a fun thing, and you know, a good learning tool for students to actually feel like they're in the field.
And have you created those unsafe conditions, or is that?
No, this is a
that's
part of the
software?
program. Yeah, it's part of the software. Yeah.
Can you create like, what happens, 4 inches of rain per hour? Can you create a situation like that?
I'm not sure, but you know what? There may be an AI on that one. So yeah. Let's see. And so as I mentioned before, we're trying to get more, resources and training opportunities for students, just like these tools here. Also, since I took a survey before, the knowledge, I'm also going to do one after to see how they enjoyed using these tools and how it enhanced their learning experience too. So there's that aspect that's going to be like future research. And overall, I mean, I've been telling students don't have AI take over your thinking process, because AI is not going to be there to actually give you the experience. I mean, they have the personal experience there, but when you're asking it to do something, it's not going to give you what a human is going to give you, like their own experience by doing something. And try to promote more awareness of ethical considerations, like plagiarism, not having the AI tool take over, all of your like writing, problem solving type of techniques. It's there to help you, but not take over, your education. So that's it for my talk. I don't know if anyone else has any further questions. Yes.
On the one of the previous slides, you had for AI to improve object recognition. Isn't that machine learning to do
Yes.
that?
Yes, that's machine learning too. Yes. So object recognition, when we are creating the 3D modeling, we are incorporating the objects there. When a person did not create it, where for their projects, we're gonna have the industry actually look at their projects. So they are gonna experience more of the objects and see if they do it correct or how. So that's another type of object learning, and the students actually looking at other students' projects. If they're doing it correctly and incorporating correctly using the right materials. Now, the ones that I had there, I didn't put the extra fine material on there. I had it like bare, just to minimize the number of polygons on there. But once there, it's more realistic. Then that's where you can kind of incorporate that, I guess.
Are students allowed on job sites? I mean, that's a great learning tool, because obviously if they make a mistake, no one gets hurt.
Exactly, yeah.
But are students allowed, building contractors or companies?
Using this?
Yeah,
And for inspection, yes. Mostly for inspection, meetings, when they are looking at 3D models, they can be placing all this, and one person can be walking through and say, hey, this machine is too high, I can't reach it. So they have that experience to feel that, and during their meeting, because when you put your goggles with Sentio, other people that put their goggles and put in the same code in there, they can be in the same model, and you can walk and show them, and you can experience it that way too. So yeah, they are using it in that aspect right now.
And the tool show below ground structures like steel and concrete.
Yes.
Show.
Yeah, they can show anything you put in your model, it will show, yes.
Students write text like reports and papers, are they allowed to generate text or no?
See, our reports, if it's something that they can get like ideas or help, yeah, but writing a report is kind of difficult just because they have their own project that they come up with that has to do with the project we give them. So putting that on AIs could be coming out very broad. And it'll be obvious that they didn't write it because, they didn't add the specifics that we wanted them to put in there. So it's kind of difficult for AI to write for their written report that way.
So that list of projects that you mentioned, like the walkway and so on, had the students selected from a list that you gave them, or did they create those different projects?
Each group has their own project. They're in the making right now.
Yeah, but did they decide or did
Design,
they
they're
choose
designing.
from
You know, they come up with
They made
it.
it up.
We have the building and they have to come up, they have to brainstorm from the beginning of everything and incorporate it into the building, yes. Yeah. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank